Hey, good morning. It's going on 5:20 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States, Wednesday, March 30th, 2022. And I have this morning this pretty little capsule. It's not produced anymore, so this is an old one. I think it might have last come out, could have been out last year, or maybe it was 2019. Anyway, it's not available now. So in a way, I'm hoping that I don't like it, so then I won't mind. But I don't know, it's Brazilian coffee, and I'm swayed by the capsule. It's such a pretty capsule. You know what's interesting? Let me show you something. I have this one coffee bag hanging up in my house, and let me show you here. He's at Cafe do Brasil, and it reminds me of this coffee, this Cafezinho do Brasil. So I read up on this on the internet. It is pronounced Cafezinho, sort of like a little yo at the end. And it is 100% Brazilian coffee. It is meant to be made as an espresso. Has an intensity of 9. I could not find a caffeine count for it. I read up on how the real stuff, which cafezinho means small black coffee, how it's made in Brazil. And what they actually do is they put a little bit of sugar in water, and they boil the water, and they throw in the ground coffee, and then they filter it through a piece of flannel, so you don't end up with coffee grounds in your cup, right? And, I'm wondering how close this is going to taste to it. But you know what? I've got a little bit of brown sugar that I can sprinkle in. And also I read that some people like it with cream. So I have a little bit of cream. But something that really interested me about this that I'm anxious to, I hope, experience. I hope it's not just descriptions that are, these ethereal descriptions that sometimes you read about coffees. I hope it's something that the common person can also perceive, which is it's supposed to have walnut and sandalwood fragrances and herbal fragrances. And it said, I read, this coffee displays unusual herbal notes reminiscent of thyme or rosemary, but it's supposed to have upfront walnut and sandalwood aromas. So we'll see here. Pop it in and let's let it run. Okay, being an espresso, it's 1.35 ounces. Let that finish dripping there. Oh, Sandalwood is a fragrance that I've always loved. Let me see if I can pick it up here. Let this finish dripping out. When it's an espresso, which is only 1.35 ounces, I like to let every little drip get in there. Okay, are we done dripping? Sometimes I tap the machine, but actually the cylinder where the water pressure happens is so thick and heavy that my doing this doesn't really make any difference. I just do it. You know what it's like? It's like when you're waiting for the traffic light to change, the kind that has a button you can push, or you're waiting for an elevator, and you know that you're pushing the button is not going to make a difference because it's on a timer, but you still push it. Well, makes me feel like I'm helping the rest of the drips come out. Okay, so even though my Pixie will shut itself off in a few minutes, if I'm done using it, I like to go ahead and turn the power off. save energy. Okay, so here it is. You know, usual crema. Oh golly, I'm not getting a lot of fragrance here. Kind of mix the crema back in. Now this is supposed to be a strong coffee, and I can already tell that it is very intense. You know, one of the things I read that Brazil, this is the sort of coffee, like if you went to somebody's house, they would offer you one of these. And it would be served in a little tiny cup, too, because it is supposed to be small. Well, the name Cafezinho means small black coffee. Okay, let me give it a try here. This has a distinctive flavor. I don't know what that flavor is. I don't know how to describe it. Could walnut? You know, sometimes you read these descriptions and you're influenced by them. You know, I've said before, I wish I could have somebody come and prepare me a couple of different coffees that I didn't know what they were, and I wouldn't have any descriptive words that were suggested to me, and I could say what I was getting from them. Because, you know, you read something like smoky wood, tobacco leaf, chocolatey cocoa, cereal, malted, biscuity, things like that, you know, and you think, oh, yeah, I taste that, I taste that. I wish I would just, you know, I would have like sort of a blindfold test in a way, and earplugs. And somebody made me coffee, didn't tell me anything about it. And I said, okay, what do you think? Give me a description of it. Aromas, tastes, aftertastes, all that sort of thing. Anyway, so this is mighty strong. Now, one thing that I did read is that if you put a little bit of sugar, and they're talking about like a pinch of sugar in it, and, excuse me, in Brazil, of course, it's unrefined sugar. The closest I can come to that is some light brown sugar. I have read that it cuts the bitterness in it, and that's one of the reasons they use it, because it can be very bitter. Okay, so there's my pinch. I'll just stir that in. So I think it's interesting that, you know, the traditional way it's prepared is that the sugar is boiled in the water you're going to use to brew the coffee. It's just a tiny bit, though. Like for maybe 3 or 4 cups of water, you're just adding maybe 2 or 3 teaspoons of sugar. So, you know, it's a tiny bit. We'll see if this cut the bitterness. And yeah, actually that little bit of sugar did cut some of the bitterness. Of course, you know, I'm expecting that Nespresso making this would have taken into account the fact that real Cafezinho would have a little bit of sweetness. Oh, I don't know. I mean, this doesn't have sugar added. If you read the Nespresso package, it's just got coffee in it. Just coffee, ground coffee. All right. You know, I almost don't want to add cream to this. And I'm not even going to add this whole container. I'm just going to put a tiny little spill can get it open. There we go. Of cream in there. Because I just got a tiny little bit of coffee. Okay. Were you watching? Did you see that? That was very quick. It was just a few drops. You can see it's lightened the coffee a little. Okay. Oh, it's actually made a big difference. This is a very intense coffee. To me, I would have to be in the mood to drink something like this. You know, of course, I do like my lattes. I prefer a latte. And usually I will, when I'm doing these little Sylvia style reviews, you know, which is very often trying something for the first time, I will try it as a latte. I didn't see this anywhere used in a latte recipe. Gonna add a little more cream to this because I feel as though I would like it better with a little bit of the fattiness that cream adds. Of course, this is just half and half, so it's half milk, half cream. Let me try again. You know what? I'm gonna take my chances here. I'm gonna add this whole thing of cream. Okay, you know what? I've been jabbering on so long here now. I've got to heat it up. It's all right. Let's see. How about 8 seconds? We'll see here. Okay. I mean, it is just, you know, it's like 1.5 ounces of coffee, so I can see steam coming out of it. Can you see that? Yeah. So 8 seconds did something. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't put it on for 30 seconds. Yes, the temperature of your coffee will affect how you perceive the flavors and the mouthfeel. Now see, having this hotter than it was makes a big difference to me in the flavor. And I like this with the little pinch of sugar and the cream, or half and half. This is very nice now. I think if you like a strong espresso, that you would very likely enjoy this black or with the tiniest pinch of sugar. But if you're more inclined like I am towards lattes, I think you'd enjoy this with some cream till it's a nice color like that. A little bit lighter than a medium sort of look. Gee, I kind of wish I had this much of it. It's pretty tasty. So, Cafezinho do Brasil, an espresso, supposedly with walnut, sandalwood, and herbal aromas, an intensity of 9. I don't know the caffeine count. If anybody knows, please put it in the comments. But I'm thinking that it's probably going to have at least 70, sort of like the, Cuban coffees do. You can't go by the taste, though. But just thinking about it being a Brazilian coffee and other Brazilian coffees that I've had, yeah, you know, I wouldn't think that it's super duper high. But it would be interesting. If you know, please let me know. That's really nice now. So I guess the thing to get out of this is the Cafezinho do Brasil is an intense coffee that has a really nice flavor or taste. For those of you who prefer coffee with some milk or a latte, go ahead and put a little bit of half and half in, or some milk that, not a low calorie milk, you know, like I frequently use 30 calorie almond milk. Sometimes I use 45 calorie oat milk. If I had to choose between the two, I'd go for the higher calorie milk, go for more of a fat content, because I think that that gives this a really, really smooth flavor, but lets that intensity come through. Okay, well, it's so early in the morning and I'm just babbling on here. I'll let you get about your day, and I'll get about my day. I hope it's a good one. Make good choices.